from people in Benguet, and I talked to you earlier about this. There's a saying, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Sa Benguet, we've been complaining about high power rates. Ang Benguet ata ang may pinakamababang power rates at 8 pesos, tama? And wala po silang brown out. Now, the NEA is a attached agency ng DOE, right? Okay. Paano nangyari na bakit yung NIA nakikialam sa pamamalakad ng Benguet Electric Cooperative at naglagay ng sarili nilang tao, manager, general manager? Ngayon, nagkakalituhan na doon kung sino talaga ang general manager, yung bang ibinoto ng mga board of directors ng NIA o itong isiningit ng NIA na siya maging general manager. Siguro po, sa susunod na lang po, pakisagot yan. That has to be answered. Kasi dito po sa Committee on Energy, ito po sa Enerhiya, I'm used to receiving problems in my radio program, One Radio for 20 years. Usually, isa lang po yung biktima. Magreklamo yung biktima and then I find solutions by talking to different people who can contribute in giving solutions to the problem. But dito pala sa energy, ang nagreklamo, biktima, yung consumer, and then yung nireklamo, meron ding reklamo tulad nitong sa Benguet Electric Cooperative. And maging yung mga taga-LGU, I received complaints. In fact, a few days ago, may nagbisita sa akin sa office ko, mga taga-LGU from Nueva Vizcaya, I think Isia, who also were complaining about high power rates, etc. So, yun lang po siguro. On our next hearing, maybe you can come up with some answers to these suggestions and questions. Okay.
Mr. Chair?
Just on the topic, no, because you opened up the topic. I actually filed a resolution to investigate that issue of Beneco.
Beneco, yes.
Because it defies common sense that the board has a certain level of autonomy to select its own management, but then again, Metro Manila sent its own GM to run that cooperative.
Yes.
So what's the purpose of the board if that is the case? No? The board under the law is given certain amount of autonomy to choose whoever they want for their best interest. But in this particular case, as what you mentioned, Beneco is a well-run cooperative, one of the lowest power rates, a AAA green cooperative. Then Metro Manila, here in NEA, sent their own GM to take over the electric cooperative. The end result, nagkagulo doon. Nagkaroon ng barilan, nagkaroon ng commotion, and that's not the intention. You don't rock the boat when it's not there's no problem in it. No? So yes. I support the message of our chairman to look into that, Mr. Secretary, because that will set a bad precedent to all well-managed cooperative, and we don't want that. We want the cooperatives to be well-managed on their own, and NEA will just step in if ever the cooperative is ailing and not performing. No? And that's under the law.
Thank you, Senator Wing Gatchalian. And lastly, Mr. Secretary, I don't know if you are the right person that I should be saying this to. Siguro sa next hearing, please do due diligence. Alamin kung sino-sino mga politiko ang mga nagmamayari o kamag-anak nito mga electric cooperatives sa iba't ibang probinsya. Sila kasi ang dahilan ng sakit sa ulo. Kung bakit nagkakaroon ng brownout. Kapag nagreklamo yung taong bayan, pupunta sa kanila. Walang ginagawang aksyon ng mga kooperatiba dahil ang kanilang padrino ay mga matataas na opisyales ng probinsya. So, kung pwede, sabihin nyo sa amin kung sino-sino itong mga politikong ito para mapakiusapan natin o kung ano man yung pwedeng gawin in aid of legislation to investigate kung ito bang ginagawa nilang nangyari is something that has to be stopped.
In the long term, kailangan natin itulak, thank you, Mr. Chairman, itulak natin yung ating renewable energy mix. Why? Because unfortunately, with due respect to my dear friend Secretary Cusi, we did not really push hard enough in the last administration for RE. We need to see that this administration with our boss, President Bongbong Marcos, is pushing for RE. Maybe we have to increase feed-in tariff. Maybe we have to increase the opportunities for the players, new players to come in because it's been very prohibitive for them. Let us prioritize RE na, Secretary, and to the ERC. Prioritize na natin yan. Libre ang hangin, libre ang tubig, libre ang init ng araw, libre ng lakas ng kuryente sa dagat, yung currents. We can utilize that, fully utilize that, and we will not have to depend on oil and coal. So just your thoughts, Mr. Secretary, and how we can, in the short term, bring down the rates of these electric cooperatives that are so prohibitive. Maawa po tayo sa taong bayan, Secretary. Napakamahal dyan sa kanila sa Mindoro. Sobrang mahal ng kuryente. Secretary.
Mr. Secretary, you have 2 minutes to answer, please.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Make it
so, I will, Mr. Chairman. We share the hopes and the vision of the Senate President. But as I pointed out, because of the particular generation mix that we have, there is no, shall we call it, magic wand to change things overnight. But the hard work must start now. And I think the President's vision is not for a promise for overnight changes, but that the structural changes, including in IPIRA, the missing portion on the reform of the electric cooperatives, the missing portions on strengthening processes and structures in the Energy Regulatory Commission, and in promoting competition, including how the Philippine Competition Commission can come in. But the start that the President did was precisely to address the need for a level playing field, and that he wants the Energy Regulatory Commission to be able to deal with all investors in a fair way, because that's the only way that investors are going to come in.
Thank you, Mr. Secretary. Go ahead.
Last 10 seconds
Second,
lang,
Senator
Mr. Chairman. I forgot to raise the issue also of WESM. Mindanao has no WESM. We have no spot market in Mindanao. Matagal na pangako ni Secretary Cusi yan. I know his biggest frustration was Transco. So, and interconnectivity between Mindanao, Visayas, and Luzon. Alam mo, sobra-sobra yung power generation namin sa Mindanao. We cannot export, we have a surplus, but yet the prices are 16 to 18 pesos. How can that be? That we have a surplus of power in Mindanao, and yet our rates are so high kasi wala po tayong WESM market. And maybe it's time under your leadership na ituloy po natin yung WESM ng Mindanao. Thank you. Thank you, Chairman.
Thank you, Senate President Mitsubiri. Senator De La Rosa, go ahead, Senator De La Rosa.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. This is not a question. Wala po ko itatanong sa inyo. Ako lang po yung makikiusap sa inyo. Kayo na ngayon dyan sa regulating agency pagdating sa power. I just hope na mabawasan natin yung mga household doon sa Mindanao na walang kuryente dahil napuputulan, dahil hindi nakabayad, dahil very high talaga ang cost ng energy natin. Sana tulungan natin yung ating mga kababayan na magkakuryente uli dahil masyado talagang mahal, napuputulan na sila. Yun lang, Mr. Chairman, ang pag-iusap po. Maraming salamat.
Thank you, Senator Bato De La Rosa. I share your sentiments. As a matter of fact, later on, I would also add to that. For now, is there anybody else from among my colleagues who would like to ask questions?
Mr. Chairman, just a follow-up. Because
Go ahead, Senator
I just filed the bill on the comprehensive master plan for infrastructure development. That includes Transco and also energy. That's the reason why I asked. So that we can go into the right direction. We would know that what energy sources that the DOE can